to want to do vlogs really. I just want to do car installation, working on cars really. But right now I'm actually heading to FL2K in Bradenton, Florida. It's my first time going to an actual bigger event, car event I'd say. Like I go to test and tune Friday nights here and there, but first time I'm going to an actual event. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to go and meet some people, kind of interact with them, ask some questions on people that have been through the process of starting, at a lower horsepower car and building their way up. I'm sure if they could have done it differently, they give advice on how they would and stuff like that. So it'll be good to go talk to some people, see some cars, get some inspiration, and yeah, hopefully see some fast cars. Here waiting on parts. Car isn't running, so I sent the turbo off to get rebuilt. That's being done. And in the meantime, I've been gathering parts. New year coming up. Figure let's just go ahead and do it. Have a goal, plan to achieve it. So might as well go for it. I actually got some in the mail today. Right now, it's just me kind of collecting parts, waiting on everything to get in, and just kind of gonna send it, kind of throw everything in. Actually, the main thing I do is I gotta figure out what's going on with the car and why it's giving me issues. But let's see, a piece of the puzzle. Wiring. The wiring isn't the piece of the puzzle. Hold on, let me pull this out. Boom, there it is. Another piece of the puzzle that I needed. The triple pump radium engineering fuel surge tank. I'm not gonna unbolt it now to open it up. I'm sure you guys know what it is, but the plan is to put 2 Walbro 450s in here, put a Walbro 250 in the tank to feed into here, and that should give me all the fuel I need for a good while now, at least to reach my preliminary goal. So awesome. I just got done mowing damn lawn, but I also got the turbo back. Got it rebuilt. Actually, this turbo needed a whole new rebuild. Needed to have all new seals, bearings, and also had to put a new shaft on it. So lesson learned, don't buy used parts. I say that now, but you're probably seeing me buy used parts again. So next step, gonna throw this in, put the car together. Think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load my old tune. I'm gonna see if maybe the tune that I have in there got corrupt. Again, I've had this issue before. So I'm gonna re-upload the old tune, take it out for a spin, see how that performs. And also, the first thing I gotta do is I gotta put the turbo back on, and I'm gonna start it up, see what we get. Also, I wanna start it up, keep it in place. I'm gonna wiggle the wiring harness, see if maybe there's some type of wiring issue. So we'll see. First thing I gotta do though is throw this turbo back on, or put this new turbo on. Bam! Got it on. Took me like, I don't know, 15 minutes to get it back on, not too bad. Bolt it down. You can see I don't have the feed on yet, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect the fuel pump. I'm gonna turn over the motor, see if double check the fuel pressure before I put it on, make sure that's good. Then I'll go ahead and start the car, and we'll start logging and see what kind of issues we can find. Alright, got the car together, took it out, and doing some logging, and I think I found my issue. So what I'm finding is the car will start up pretty good in about like 10-15 minutes on the road. It'll start acting up, and what I'm noticing is that when on my logs, I'm noticing that my VVTI is going fully, it's advancing all the way. It's saying it's maxed out 70 degrees. Obviously it doesn't do 70 degrees that I know of, but it says it's doing 70 degrees and it's just staying pinned. It doesn't matter what the ECU is trying to pull it back, but it's staying open. So I went to my buddy Julio's house, I grabbed his VVTI solenoid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap out the VVTI solenoid, see if that's my issue. Hopefully that's a simple fix. If not, then next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the timing on the car and make sure that's fine. I don't see why it would actually. Would you look at that? Motor just happened to stop. That's TDC. If you look down here, yep. Hold on, let me get a flashlight on this. Wow, the odds of that happening. 1 second, let me get a flashlight. I put a flashlight on, it actually shows that it's off 5 degrees. Let's see if you can see that. But I didn't set the bottom to top dead center, so I'm not sure if this is actually top dead center. It's just the top happens to be where it should be, so I'm not going to go by that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swap that VVTI solenoid, see what difference we get. Cold start. Alright, so I got the car running. I'm happy. I figured out the issue. It was my VVTI solenoid. My buddy Julio with the slow M3 let me borrow his off of his IS300 that he's gonna build up. And it fixed my issue, but then it helped me see that I have another issue going on. Let me pull into the garage and I'll show you real quick. I pulled into the garage and it's idling fine. Just one thing you'll notice here is that, so when the car is idling, I want the VVTI at 0, like that. But you can see right now it has my timing at 7.9, 7.8, and what that leads me to believe, and you can see that the ECU is trying to pull the feedback, it's doing negative, trying to pull it back to the 0 that we're commanding, and it's not getting it. So what it leads me to believe is that the timing jumped a tooth, because I've counted it, if I counted it right, it's 48 teeth on the timing gear, and you divide that by 360, each tooth will be 7.5 degrees. So if this is idling or staying at 7.9, close to 7.5, it seems like it's a tooth off, and that's why I can't get to the 0. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack the car up, put it at top dead center, and actually confirm it visually and go from there. But I think numbers wise, I think it's actually showing that that's what's happening. That's what gives me a hunch. But the car's able to drive now the way it is, and it feels pretty good. But it's only gonna get better once I get this done. I ordered a new billet tensioner, new tensioner, I have a new timing belt, and also have that ATI damper that I've been waiting to put on, so this is the perfect time to do it. So that's what I got going on. Let me do an overview of all these new parts I got going on. I was about to show off all the parts I got going on, but actually what I want to do is I want to go ahead and check the timing first. First thing I want to do, here in the garage, I got my trusty 4-legged assistant, cleaned the garage last night, happy, feeling good. Walk in, this is the first thing I see, some motivation, look good, feel good. But yeah, let's go ahead and put this thing at top dead center and see what we got going on for timing. My guess is that the intake cam is going to be off, but that's my guess. So first thing I got to do is I'm going to take the coil cover off, take the, the 370Z coils off, take the spark plugs out, and make it a little bit easier to turn over. I got to walk around and grab some of the parts that I need for pulling that off. But trying to be real when I do these videos and show people that, yeah, it's cool I'm building this car, but I also have issues. Like I had all the issues with my wiring. I had it short-circuited a little bit certain places, and even now it's not all, you know, fun and games. You know, you're gonna run into issues, you gotta troubleshoot it. Like I've really let down. You saw I probably haven't put up any videos in a little while just because it beats you up. So I step away from the car, log it, try to pinpoint it, and you start, you know, certain things, all right, it's not this, it's not that, and then finally you're able to narrow it down to what it's going to be. But luckily I found this. I'm happy I did. But like I said, let me take it apart, we'll double check it, and ready to get a solution. All right, so this is interesting. I didn't even bother taking off the coil cover and the spark plugs. It was close enough where I was able to just put it in. So what we got going on right now, let's see. So you see, you got the motor at 0 degrees, top dead center. That's better without the light. You see my marks line up. I thought it was going to be off a tooth. Huh. So now I'm thinking it might be something with the ECU. So next step now, I feel like I verified that this is timed correctly. It hasn't jumped teeth. So what I want to do is I need to look in the ECU, see if maybe there's a timing setting that got messed up or something. That's all I can think of. So I found the reason for the 7.5 degrees in the VVC setting, and one thing I forgot to do when I set up the car was, it says you need to disable the VVC and add the numbers that you're getting on the VVC readout onto here to give it a true 0 reading, and then enable the VVC, and then it'll have a correct zeroed out and advanced properly. So figured out that's why it was reading correctly, did that, started working fine. What is it, John?
YouTube, comment, like this video if you like it. Watch some more if you don't like it. Terrible.